get to it. I'll share with you my little testimony before I read to you a couple scriptures that prove that these things exist in the earth, right? So this was maybe 2002 or so, give or take, right? 2002, 2003, I don't even know, because I don't keep track of time like that, right? Some people can remember everything, right? But some of you may know, some of you might not know that I'm a military brat, meaning, right, my father served in the Air Force for 20 years, and in that time we went all throughout the earth, right? And when I saw this demon, I was living in Japan, right? And it was on the Air Force base there. It was what was the name of it? It was Yokota Air Force Base, right? And this is in Japan. So like I said, I was probably 12 or 13, and I had just gotten off the bus from school. The bus pulled up, right? Ran inside to drop my bags off, and I had a room in the upstairs that would face the parking lot where I lived, right? So every day after school, all the kids in the neighborhood, we'd all convene in the front after we had dropped off our bags and everything, right? We had a basketball court in the front, so we'd all play ball, maybe skate a little bit, just hang out for a couple hours, you know. So anyways, I go upstairs, drop my bag off, and look out my window to see if anybody was already out there, right? And as I'm looking out, there's this tree that was in the front yard too, right? So as I'm looking out, I look into this tree, and I see what appears to me like, at first, what appears like a black cat, right? It looked like this fat black cat, right? So I'm looking, I'm just squinting, I'm like, dang, I'm like, yo, that thing is fat, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, how'd it get in that tree? Like, what's it doing? Because we're just like slinking through this tree, right? Real slowly. I just keep just watching this thing, like, what the heck? And then the more it started to look less, and I'm talking about like fat, like this thing was like Alice in Wonderland big, you know, that nasty big fat cat. And so I'm just leaning in more and more and trying to discern what this thing is, right, and make out what it was. And it started to change and look different, right? And so, like, it stopped, right? It stopped slinking through the tree, and then it had its back toward me, right? And I'm going to show you, give you an example of how it looks. So it had its back toward me. I'm sitting in my car, so I can't demonstrate this for y'all all the way, but right, it had its back toward me. When it stopped, it was like this. And then once it perceived that I was staring at it, like, you know, anybody can feel when there's some eyes on them, right? So so this thing had its back toward me, and it turned around just like this, just this slowly, right? It said, look me dead in my eyes, and I've never been so afraid in my whole life. It was like another type of fear. Like, it made my whole like soul resonate, you know what I'm saying? And what I saw when I looked into this thing's eyes, I mean, its eyes were as red as taillights in a country place, you know what I'm saying, where no light is, and you hit the brakes. That's how red it is. That's how the best I can describe it, right? And its whole eye was red. Even the pupils, it didn't have any pupils or any other part. Like, it was just straight up red, you know what I'm saying? The whole eye. And the fur, this thing was like completely black too, like darker than just regular black, right? And when it turned around, I remember it wasn't so much like a cat, it looked like a monkey, you know what I'm saying? It looked like a black monkey with just straight red eyes, you know what I'm saying? And that thing shook me to the core and scared me like nothing else has or could since, right? And I've been in the face of mortal danger, everything, like, you know what I'm saying? I've never felt that fear in my life, as I did at that time. But right, so this thing looked like a monkey. I started running in place. I couldn't get out of there fast enough, right? I was like a freaking cartoon, you know what I'm saying? Cartoon character. But I ran out of the room. I went to find my family and my parents, and I just broke down crying, bawling, like, I just seen a demon. I just seen a demon, you know what I'm saying? I guess they were trying to console me. I don't remember too much after that. I just remember the fear and everything, right? So I always wondered why why I saw something like that. Because look, I was a kid at the time, and I wasn't doing any mischief or anything. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't smoking. I wasn't doing anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was wondered why, but I believe that now it was maybe a confirmation of what I read in the scriptures happens right in front of us every day. Right in front of us every day. And we can't always see into that realm, but sometimes we get glimpses. You know what I'm saying? And which I'm about to share with you, man, that these demonic forces and powers and fallen angels exist right here among us on the earth, right? And when you read the Bible, it said that Satan was cast down on the earth, right? And all his fallen angels, some of them were bound. But it said Satan is out here roaming around, like you read the book of Job, right? When God is watching Job perform his sacrifices to him, Satan comes up out of nowhere, out of the woodwork, sitting right next to the Most High, like, oh yeah, you see this guy? You know what I'm saying? And God said to him, he said, from whence comest thou, Satan? And he said, from roaming to and fro through the earth. You know what I'm saying? He said, I was on the earth, just going back and forth, but I came up here to see what's good. You know what I'm saying? But all his access to heaven ceased after Christ died, right? But that's another topic. But I just say all that to say, right, that these things exist among us, right? So look, pay close attention to what I'm about to bring out, right? So today I'm going into the book of Enoch and the book of Jubilees, right? But before I do that, you could also see, because to some people these may seem like extra biblical references, but all these books are referenced actually in the Bible, right? So Enoch is referenced in Genesis 5:23 through 24, as well as Hebrews 11 and 5, Jude 1 6 through 13, right? So this is just so everybody understands that these books are actually part of the Bible, but they were taken out, okay? So you got to understand that. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm drawing from records that aren't biblical or anything. But look, right, that's where we're gonna go first, okay? And we're gonna get it. Let's go to Enoch 15 real quick, right? And this is a book that I copied. I got this from Amazon, right? So you can see, right? It has Enoch, Jubilees, and Jasher right here, right? And all these are referenced in the Bible again, from Genesis, Jude, Hebrews, Joshua, and 2 Samuel. You can find all these references to these books that I got here, right? We're going to Enoch 15 and starting at the 7th verse, right? It says, and now the giants who are produced from the spirits and flesh shall be called evil spirits upon the earth, and on the earth shall be their dwelling. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men, and from the holy watchers is their beginning and primal origin. They shall be evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits shall they be called. As for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of earth, which were born upon the earth, and on the earth shall be their dwelling. And listen to this. This is their function. This is what they do, right? And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men, and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. That's why they seek to do damage and destroy us, right? Because we are the image of God, and they hate us and can't stand us, right? So, like we just read here, demons, which are called evil spirits, exist in the earth, right? And they hinder us, right? And that's their purpose from being here. But now I want to go to Jubilee 7, right? And also, I mean, these records are even in the canonical Bible as you know it, right? In this. So when Christ went about and throughout his land, right, teaching repentance and healing people, when he would heal people, he would pull demons out of them, right? You got to remember these stories, right? You know, so a lot of things that people do necessarily aren't of themselves. they're afflicted in their minds and in their spirits by these dark forces, right? That seek to take them out of the way, right? Like people that sit there and cut themselves, burn themselves, try to hide themselves away. Drugs, alcohol. Look, we just read in Enoch 15, right? They hunger and thirst, but they can't satisfy themselves, right? So when these things get into your temple, I mean, you're always hungry, you're always drinking, always snacking, and you're not satisfying anything. You're feeding a spirit that longs for a body that wants to do the things that it used to do when it was on the earth, right? And God and Christ would go throughout the world and rid people of these torments. That's why they're always talking about mental health and all this stuff. Stop smoking the dang weed, you know what I'm saying? And letting these demons in your temple have control over you and causing you mental anguish and all types of psychosis, you know what I'm saying? And only the Father knows what they're doing to all this stuff that people are taking here willy-nilly. I mean, I can go to the gas station and get all kinds of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Alright, peace to y'all. I'm back. You gotta excuse your brother, man. I had my phone sitting up in the windshield, right? And it was getting overheated by the sun. So I had to go cool it down and just fix the angle here so it's not sitting in the sun. But alright, I'm back. And I got a lot of information I want to disseminate and relay to y'all. And it's imperative that we all understand this, right? Look, so we left off at Jubilees 7 and 25, right? So let's go ahead and get that, right? Look. All right. Okay, so this goes really, let me stop talking, I don't want to digress, but yeah, we're at Jubilee 7 and 25, and it said, and the Lord destroyed everything from off the face of the earth because of the wickedness of their deeds, and because of the blood which they had shed in the midst of the earth, he destroyed everything. And we were left, I and you, my sons, and everything that entered with us into the ark. And behold, I see your works before me, that ye do not walk in righteousness. For in the path of destruction ye have begun to walk, and ye are parting one from another, and are envious one of another. And so it cometh that ye are not in harmony, my sons, each with his brother. For I see, and behold, the demons have begun their seductions against you and against your children. And now I fear on your behalf that after my death ye will shed the blood of men upon the earth, and that ye too will be destroyed from the face of the earth. Right? And it just goes on from there to say the sins that they would be working. But what we need to focus on here, right, is that he said, for I see, he can see and understand, right? And this is Noah speaking to his children, right? That now the demons have begun their seductions amongst them. And, you know, in the previous chapter, it talks about them building cities, and, you know, they all dedicated each of their cities to their wives, right? And how they were going forth. But it was clear, right, that the demons, right? And we know that demons and evil spirits, as we just read in Enoch 15, right? And to anybody who's watching this at a later time, if you go down my page, right, I had a part 1. I had to cut this video off because my phone overheated. I had it sitting in the sun, right? Foolish, I'm already knowing. But, right? So it said that evil spirits and demons proceed from the giants, right? And they should be called evil spirits on earth. So right here, Noah was saying that that they're starting to take root in them. So look, we're going to Jubilees 10 right now, 10 and 1, right? And it reads, and in the 3rd week of this Jubilee, the unclean demons began to lead astray the children of the sons of Noah, and to make to err and to destroy them, right? And the sons of Noah came to their father, and they told them concerning the demons which were leading astray and blinding and slaying his sons' sons. And he prayed before the Lord his God and said, God of the spirits of all flesh, who has shown mercy unto me and has saved me and my sons from the waters of the flood, and has not caused me to perish as thou didst the sons of perdition. For thy grace hath been great toward me, and great hath been thy mercy to my soul. Let thy grace be lift up upon my sons, and let not the wicked spirits rule over them, lest they should destroy them from the earth. But do thou bless me and my sons, that we may increase and multiply and replenish the earth. And thou knowest how thy watchers and fathers of these spirits acted in my day. And as for these spirits which are living, imprison them and hold them fast in the place of condemnation, right? And the place of condemnation is hell, right? The original habitation and holding place for the spirits of the fallen angels in the demons, right? Imprison them and hold them fast in the place of condemnation, and let them not bring destruction on the sons of thy servant, my God, for these are malignant and created in order to destroy. And let them not rule over the spirits of the living, for thou alone canst exercise dominion over them. And let them not have power over the sons of the righteous, from henceforth and forevermore. And the Lord our God bade us to bind all. And the chief of the spirits, Mastma, came and said, Lord Creator, let some of them remain before me. This is Satan speaking, right? Look, let me just read it. And the chief of the spirits came and said, Lord Creator, let some of them remain before me, and let them hearken to my voice, and do all that I shall say unto them. For if some of them are not left to me, I shall not be able to execute the power of my will on the sons of men. For these are for corruption and leading astray before my judgment. For great is the wickedness of the sons of men. And he said, let the 10th part of them remain before him, and let 9 parts descend into the place of condemnation. And one of us he commanded that we should teach Noah all their medicines, for he knew that they would not walk in uprightness nor strive in righteousness. So that goes into a different topic. But look, what it's saying here very clearly is that Satan asked God to let a 10th part of the demons that existed in the earth stay with him to lead men astray, right? So look, that's more proof that these things are out here and out and about, right? And the last thing I want to show you before I end this video, right, is this book here. Give me 1 second. Right? Let me get this. This book here. Now, if you're a spiritually weak person or struggling with some things, then I would advise you not to read this, right? But just for edification and understanding, right? It's called the Testament of Solomon, and this book is in the Old Testament pseudepigrapha, right? James H. Charlesworth edition, and that, to my mind, this is the best version out there, right? But in the Testament of Solomon, right, during the time that he was building the temple for the Lord, right, he encounters demons, right? And he was given a ring by an angel to put all these demons into subjection of him, right? So this ring, that's where you get stuff like Lord of the Rings from, right? You know, Hollywood's not original. These people aren't that smart, you know what I'm saying? But right, so he's given this ring with great power to control these demons, and they do his bidding, right? But not only, and here's proof that this record is true. I mean, this is written in secular history. It's in the Quran. It's in our Bible. You know what I'm saying? and a lot of mystics, masons, and people use the knowledge that Solomon had to execute all types of power over demonic forces, right? Because he was given the knowledge and understanding of all these things, right? So, I mean, this is just further edification that, and in this book, right? In this book, whenever he summons a demon to him with the power of this ring, he asks the demon their purpose in the earth and their origin, right? So yeah, they'll show up to him, and then they'll say their name, and then they'll say their purpose, right? It's like, oh, I strangle babies when they're coming out in the hopes that they won't be born, or another one said, I give people migraines and headaches and cause them to suffer in that way, right? I give another one said, I entice men to all sorts of wicked lasciviousness, right? So I mean, it goes on for chapter upon chapter upon chapter, and they tell him his purpose and everything, right? And it's deep. But I say all that to say that there are forces in this world that work against you and me continually, and we gotta watch out for them. And they can jump on weak people. So all people that might be hating on you and everything, it might not always be what it seems or appears, right? And I mean, if you're living with people and they're pressing your buttons, I mean, they know how to do it, right? Because the spirits are always watching. And that's where, last thing I'm going to say, like, people who always talk about these past lives and all this madness, you know what I'm saying? That's just demons giving them revelation and look into other lives, right? Because, I mean, they bounce from people to people. And they can even come in all shapes and sizes. I mean, when your people die, they're gone forever, right? That's why these demons can go stand in the corner of your room looking like your grandmother, you know what I'm saying? Telling you, come this way. And, but I'm just saying, that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? This stuff needs to get out there, right? And I've been remiss, right? So anyways, peace to y'all.